Hey, my name is John Williams. I get to help lead an organization called Life That Counts. We are a maximum impact 501c3 nonprofit organization which has the opportunity to help students make better decisions for more healthy outcomes. And what I want to do now is take just a couple moments and share with you a little bit of the history, a little bit of the early days of the organization. So Life That Counts is, as of April the 6th, officially a 4-year-old. And at being a 4-year-old, I guess we experienced our own set of toddler problems, our own, and not even really problems, I guess, but just, as a toddler grows and develops and becomes, so that's what we're doing. We've been growing, we've been developing, and we've been becoming. So it's a really interesting thing, launching an organization. An organization, for me, Life That Counts, it always, in my thoughts and in my mind, it always had its place as an organization, as a nonprofit, not a for-profit, not a one-man band. Even when it was just me, I would refer to Life That Counts as us and the team. It's kind of like hopefully speak it into existence and it will become, right? Which is cool because now I get to do that and it's real, it's authentic, it really is us, it really is we, the team. In those early days, it was fun. It really was, launching out, because it was a lot of doing everything that we could, everything that I could to promote, to say, hey, this is what this new thing is about. This is what we're after. This is some of the change that we want to see in the world. This is what we hope to make happen. And in any new organization, you also have like the financial challenges. And the financial challenges of any new organization is there are no finances. And that in and of itself is the challenge. So I served as a student pastor, as a student minister for about 15 years in a full-time capacity. And I really saw that we could do a lot of good kind of outside of the scope of a religious organization. And I wanted to bring some of the good that I believe that we could do in the world into a nonprofit where we would have the opportunity to work with schools, to work with students, in a place that didn't have any labels on it as far as religion and those types of things go. So that was a part of the conception of Life That Counts. Now the early days, they were, sometimes very rough, sometimes very exciting. I remember there was a stretch in there where we had been, it had actually been announced that we were a part of a grant, a federal grant that we had won, and we were going to get to be a partner on this federal grant. And man, talk about exciting news, because that meant that, we had this 3-year plan, and there was the income for the 3 years, and this sort of thing. It was no longer just myself, but I could also hire someone part-time to help share the load and that sort of thing. And so I went full-time with Life That Counts July 1st, 2016. And took a very meager salary, very, very meager. I think it was like $500 a month for the first couple of months, like for July and then for August and September too. But then when October rolled around, the federal grant that we were a partner of, they had not yet begun, doing their disbursements or whatnot. So we had no funds. We were receiving no funds. And so I personally went from October 1, 2016 to January 24th, 2017 without any pay. We didn't even have the resources to do mileage reimbursements or anything like that. So for those of you who are under the notion that it is really sexy starting a nonprofit and there's so much money in nonprofit work, it's not. It's just not there. And the reason why you would want to do a work like this, so what keeps you in it? What kept me in it? Well, it was something that my wife and I had spent a lot of time talking about. It was something that my wife and I, we'd spent time praying about. And is this for us? And is this what we want to do? And do we really want to be a part of something or create something like this and help grow it? And the answer was yes. Even in the really lean moments, there was a very strong resolve. It's almost like the more difficult the time got, like for us personally, the stronger our resolve became. And man, there were a couple of moments in there in particular where, oh man, there were like, you know, you ever got a phone call at just the right time? You know, we had a couple of those in there that I'm really grateful for. And I can share those maybe in another more personal or intimate setting. But I want to keep this about the organization, because it takes someone willing to suffer long, I think, to create anything worth having. I had a basketball coach who said one time, he said, if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. And the truth is it's not easy. Launching something that you believe in, launching something that you're passionate about, will probably be one of the most difficult things you'll ever do in your life. But it's worth it. The word passionate itself actually means to be willing to suffer long for a thing or for a cause or for someone. That's what passionate means. And if there's anything I'm passionate about outside of my wife Alexis and our two boys, I'm passionate about seeing students become the best version of themselves. I'm passionate about seeing students understand the nature and the role that their choices, like current choices at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old, what role do the decisions of those choices play in a young man or a young woman's life, like on down the road, like into their 20s and into their middle 20s, early 30s, things like that, because they do. Some of our choices have very long-term effects. And I myself, being a young man who grew up in kind of a rough setting, I know that it's 2 or 3 things that can set you down a healthy path or an unhealthy path. And I've always believed, if I can do it, others can too. So I'm a firm proponent of we exist to help others make better decisions for more healthy outcomes.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Life That Counts. Tune in next time for more insight with host John Williams.